Salus lets you customize forms to reflect how your organization records and analyzes information about beneficiaries and the services you provide them. I'm logged in as an administrator, looking at my Salus configuration settings, specifically the list of case forms. To show you how managing forms in Salus works, I'm going to add a new field to my case forms which reflects the beneficiary's employment status. Administrators can choose different field formats, such as select dropdowns, dates, and text fields. I'm going to choose select dropdown, and then I'll specify the field's label, whether or not the field is required, any guiding text which will appear along with the field, as well as which options should appear in this dropdown. In this situation, I'm setting this field to use the options from a lookup called employment status. A lookup is basically a preset list of options you can use for a field. We'll discuss these more in a minute. I will now save my changes. Now, when I log in as a social worker and go to a case, I will see the new field. I think I'd like to add a new option to this dropdown to indicate if this individual is temporarily employed. Since we used the employment status lookup for our dropdown, we'll need to update this lookup in order to change the field's options. I'm going to go to the lookups list and find the employment status lookup. Here, I can add new options, update the labels for existing options, or disable options which I no longer want users to see. I will add a new option called Temporary Employment. Note that we can also add a translation for this option for languages like French and Spanish. Salus can be translated into over 20 languages. Now, when a social worker edits a case, they will see the new option we have added for the employment status field. Let's imagine we want to add a new field which records when a case's temporary employment will end. I only want this field to appear when a case is temporarily employed. I will start off by adding a new date field called End of Temporary Employment. I'll check the skip logic box and then add a condition. We'll say that the new field should only appear if employment status is temporary employment. Now, when a social worker edits a case, if they select the case's employment status as temporary employment, a field will appear asking them when this temporary employment ends. This is just a quick sampling of our form management features. Our administrative tools put you in control of how your organization collects and analyzes data. Salus makes it quick and easy for you to turn our forms into your forms.